Our third reading is taken from Laudate Deum on the climate crisis by Pope Francis, his Apostolic Exhortation. Chapter 4, Climate Conferences, Progress and Failures, from Article 49. Following several conferences with scarce results and the disappointment of the COP25 meeting in Madrid 2019, it was hoped that this inertia would be reserved at COP26 in Glasgow 2021. In effect, its result was to relaunch the Paris Agreement, put on hold by the overall effects of the pandemic. Furthermore, there was an abundance of recommendations whose actual effect was hardly foreseeable. Proposals tending to ensure a rapid and effective transition to alternative and less polluting forms of energy made no progress. The meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh 2022 was from the outset threatened by the situation created by the invasion of Ukraine, which caused a significant economic and energy crisis. Carbon use increased and everyone sought to have sufficient supplies. Developing countries regarded access to energy and prospects for development as an urgent priority. There was an evident openness to recognizing the fact that combustive fuels still provide 80% of the world's energy and that their use continues to increase. This conference in Egypt was one more example of the difficulty of negotiations. It could be said that at least it marked a step forward in consolidating a system for financing loss and damage in countries most affected by climate disasters. This would seem to give a new voice and a greater role to developing countries. Yet, here too, many points remained imprecise. Above all, the concrete responsibility of the countries that have to contribute. Today we can continue to state that the Accords have been poorly implemented due to lack of suitable mechanisms for oversight, periodic review, and penalties in cases of non-compliance. The principles which they proclaimed still await an efficient and flexible means of practical implementation. Also, that international negotiations cannot make significant progress due to positions taken by countries which place their national interests above the global common good. Those who will have to suffer the consequences of what we are trying to hide will not forget this failure of conscience and responsibility. Here ends our third reading.